Story 1. The Dubai Wedding. My younger sister Katie is getting married. Destination wedding, Dubai. 4 days, 70 guests, and an absolutely eye-watering price tag. As the maid of honor, I'm already out £2,900 for flights and the hotel. Fine, I love my sister. But then, 6 months before the wedding, she and her fiancé Chris came to us with an emergency. The venue raised their prices, they said. They needed to borrow £17,000 or they'd lose everything they'd already put down. My parents and I believed them. I lent £7,000. My parents lent £10,000. A few weeks later, I found out, through someone else, not from Katie, that the venue price hadn't gone up at all. The £17,000 was to fly Chris's entire family over. His family had looked at the cost of the trip, decided it was too much, and said no. So Chris and Katie quietly decided to make that our problem instead. I confronted Katie. She confirmed it. Then said, and I want you to really hear this. Because they can afford it. Meaning, we had to pay for ourselves because we could handle it. His family got a free £17,000 trip because they decided they couldn't. Simple as that. I backed out of the wedding. Katie and Chris called constantly, begged, guilted. And then, the night of her bachelorette party, I got a voicemail. She was drunk. She said if I didn't show up, she wouldn't pay back a single penny. She'd claim it was a gift. She'd say the contract was fake. I'd have to take her to court. I played the voicemail for my parents. They pulled out too. At the wedding, Katie told everyone I had lied and manipulated our parents and ruined everything. When the first loan repayment date came and went without a word, my brother-in-law, who is a solicitor, sent a final demand for the full amount within 30 days. Magically, the money appeared in our accounts 5 days later. Story 2. The Dad Comment. I'm 16. My dad works full-time and does literally nothing else. My mom works full-time, is getting her master's degree, makes dinner, does laundry, does dishes, handles everything. I help as much as I can. But I'm 16. I can only do so much. 3 days ago, my mom was in class. There was a basket of laundry in my parents' room. My dad walked past it and said out loud, to no one, "Gee, there sure are a lot of dirty clothes lying around." And I just snapped. I told him he was a grown man and if he wanted clean clothes, he could do a load himself. He told me to calm down. And I said, and I knew I shouldn't the second it left my mouth, if you don't shape up, Mom is going to want a divorce. He left the room. He hasn't spoken to me in 3 days. He's also been cold to my mom, because now he thinks she's planning to leave him. I tried to apologize. He ignored me completely. My mom said what I said was unnecessary. And yeah, okay, fair. But deep down, I still kind of agreed with myself. Then the update came. And this one is a lot. A few days after I posted, my parents sat me down. I expected a lecture. Instead, I got the truth. My dad had been having an affair with a co-worker for over a year. My mom already knew. The reason she went back to work was to save money so she could leave him. They were already planning to separate. My comment hit differently because it was already true. Story 3. The Portfolio Thief. I'm 16. I do graphic design. I've made YouTube banners and edits for well-known creators. Everything I make is watermarked with my name and socials. My cousin is 23, in the same field, and struggling to find work. She asked to see my portfolio. We were close. I said yes, without thinking. A few weeks later, she came to visit and showed my parents her portfolio, beaming, so proud of herself. When I looked at it, my stomach dropped. She had taken every single one of my designs, covered my watermark with a black bar, and typed her name on top. Then she asked me if it looked nice. I nodded. I didn't want to make a scene. The following week at a big family dinner, she announced she'd landed a well-paying graphic design job. Everyone celebrated. And then the comments started. That I should be more like my cousin. That I should stop lazing around. I lost it. I told everyone she had stolen my work. That she was 23 years old and had stolen from a 16-year-old. I showed the messages where she asked for my portfolio. I showed the watermarks underneath the black bars. My family didn't believe me. My cousin cried and denied it. My parents said if it was really true, why did I wait to say something? So I emailed her employer. I sent progress files, layer screenshots, original timestamps, everything proving the work was mine. They fired her. She showed up at my house screaming. My parents were furious, even with the proof. My aunt and uncle came over. They all said I went too far, that she had worked so hard for that job. She worked so hard to put a black bar over a watermark. I left to stay at a friend's. Her mom said she'd talk to my parents. Story 4. The Airport Mill. I planned this trip, I saved for it, 2 weeks out of the country, just me and my husband. My mother-in-law wanted to come. When I said no, she threw tantrums, threatened to call the police, and sent people to guilt-trip me. My husband almost caved. He said he wouldn't go if she couldn't. I told him to call his bluff. He backed down. He told her she wasn't coming. The day of the trip, we got to the airport. My husband was walking ahead of me, looking left and right like he was searching for someone. And then I saw her, standing in the waiting area, with her luggage. I froze. And then I turned around and walked straight out. My husband followed me, yelling at me to stop. I told him he and his mother could enjoy the trip they apparently planned together. I went home and cried into my dog's fur. He came home an hour later and raged at me for being pathetic and spiteful. He called my family to tell them I ruined the trip. My own family told me I should have just sucked it up. Update. When I told him I needed space and was going to my sister's, he opened the door and told me to go right then. So I did, with my dog. I realized I'd been making excuses for him for years. His mother could do no wrong. I was always the dramatic one, the jealous one, the pathetic one. I'm at my sister's now. We're talking about separation. Story 5. The Dad Who Doesn't Like His Daughters. I am 38. I have 4 kids with my wife, a 7-year-old girl, a 6-year-old boy, and 4-year-old twins, one of each. I'll be honest. I've always been closer to my sons. I'm a guy. I like guy stuff. So do they. Princesses and dolls aren't my thing. I don't know how to connect with what my daughters are into. The argument started after my wife put the kids to bed. She came in and told me what our 7-year-old had said while being tucked in. She started crying and asked, "Why doesn't Daddy like me?" My wife said my kids noticed the difference, that I needed to stop acting like I hated my daughters. I told her I don't hate them. We just don't have anything in common. She called me immature. I said it's just how the brain works. She went and slept in my daughter's room that night, so I posted on Reddit asking if I was the jerk. And then I fell asleep with my laptop open. My wife found the post. She didn't have a Reddit account. She made one on the spot, and her comment has over 4,000 votes. She told Reddit everything he left out. He took his sons on multiple vacations, without the girls. When his daughters asked why, he told them it was a boys-only trip, no girls allowed. He refused to do the daddy-daughter dances at Christmas because he thought they were stupid. His wife danced with their daughters both times instead. He made his daughters clean up their brother's messes because, and I quote, "It's a girl's job to clean." And then she dropped this. He doesn't work. He is completely unemployed. She is a doctor. She is the sole breadwinner for the entire family of 6. And she does all the childcare, all the school events, all the appointments, everything. She wrote, "My 7-year-old would run through the mud if it meant she got 5 minutes with her dad. It is heartbreaking to watch how much she wants a relationship with him." She ended her comment by saying, "Tomorrow morning, she is taking all 4 kids for ice cream. No limit on what they can order. They deserve it. And when he wakes up, he'll find out he needs to leave her house and expect a call from her lawyer." Then she said goodnight to Reddit. Verdict. He asked if he was the jerk. His own wife answered on his laptop while he slept. That's the verdict. 5 stories, 5 people who showed us exactly who they are. Reddit saw all of them clearly. If you're still here and still fuming, you're exactly where you belong. Like and subscribe for weekly stories.